Well, folks, can you find joy in a blender? Yes, blender divides by 5. In fact, it's 60 composed of 10 plus 20 plus 30. Blender, okay? That's a word from the Lord. Blender is pure fives, because a blender is an agent of joy. So you got the two E's, 5, BR bookends, which equals 20, and then LND equals 30. So blender equals 60, 10 plus 20 plus 30, or you can go 5, 20, 30, that's fine. And we use this blender to blend beetroot, okay, which is loaded with 5s, and it makes it really pink, and pink equals joy, okay? So, and the word color white parallels joy. It's pretty awesome. Good stuff. But now the word blender equals the great 60, which equals holy, equals pure, equals believe, equals word. But the construction, the letter for letter construction of the letters blender is that it's screaming out the great number 5, which is the number of joy. Okay, so can you find joy in a blender? Yes, that's basically what a blender is for. People use blenders for the joy of it, so that they can create blended drinks from health ingredients that they can consume and feel happier as a result. I just blended beetroot with water, okay, in this blender. Beetroot was double joy, we talked about that. But a blender is an agent of joy. It is an agent of happiness. That's why we invented the blender. That's why people are using blenders like never before in the history of the world, so they can put all the healthiest foods on the planet into one container, add water, turn it on, create a drink, gulp it down, and feel the joy in the entire process and inside their body for hours and days and weeks on end, okay? So, that's a word from the Lord, that blender is screaming out joy mathematically, okay? Look at the letters yourself. BR equals 20, LND equals 30, and then the pair of E's equals 10. So you got 10, 20, 30. But the most obvious thing about the word blender is that the two vowels, every vowel in the word blender is an E, which is 5, the number of joy, okay? And of course, you know, you operate a blender with your 5 fingers, and it's a reminder that you're doing this for your own personal joy, and 5, joy, joy, joy. Now, if you're really good, you'll make blended drinks for other people, and then you're being a joy to others as well. But you love your neighbor as yourself. You have to love your neighbor, you love yourself first, okay? So you make your own blended drinks, yada, yada. So you got the two E's, which is 5. And then you got two options. You can put the B with the N, you can put the B with the ND to make 20, and the L and the R to make 30. Or you can put the B and the R to make 20, and L and the D to make 30. Either way you slice it, you glaringly and beautifully get 3 teams if you want. You can get 4 teams of 5s, but perfectly you get 3 teams that go 10, 20, 30. So all shining stardom on Mr. 5, which is the number of joy. So that's the purpose of God behind this invention, this machine we have in his story, which is called a blender. And there's millions of these things worldwide. But the purpose behind all of them is to create joy for mankind. That's why the blender exists, is for people's joy. You blend the healthiest foods on earth. A blender is so divine because it keeps things raw. I prefer to blend rather than to cook, because you get the most nutrients from raw foods. Cooking often destroys a lot of enzymes and yada yada. But if you could, and blending is so efficient too. Like you just blend it, blend whatever you want and whatever ratios you want with water, whatever, and then just chug the stuff, add crushed ice, you can control the temperature, and you're in paradise, like on the go. So blender is a big joy word, big 5s for the glory of God. I just want to share that because I have not used a blender in weeks. Today was the first day that I've used a blender in weeks or even months. And for the record, I was using beetroot, which was screaming out 5s, turned the whole thing pink. Pink equals joy. White is a color that parallels joy. The word white is, it's so glaring. It starts with WHI, which is, I got a 17 is 40, and then TE is 20 and 5. So, very obvious. So get some beetroot from the store, okay? Get it in there, add water, blend it into this pink superfood, and drink it. And know that blender in Gematria is screaming out 5's, which is joy. Okay, so I encourage everyone, if possible in the world, to try and own a blender or share one with your friends and get the healthiest foods on planet Earth in this thing regularly and into your body regularly so you can feel the joy. A blender, mathematically, is an agent of joy.